All right. Hey everybody, how you doing? Joe McCall, and I'm with Gavin Timms. Gavin, what's up?
How's it going, John? Awesome. Yourself?
I'm doing really good. We are on one of the most exciting parts of this whole process, in my opinion, and it's finding the buyers. So if you're just joining us, this is Wholesaling 101. We're walking through all the steps on how to wholesale a deal from beginning to end. And we're getting towards the end right now. But to get this mind map, don't forget, text the word flip to 313131 or go to flipmindmap.com. Text the word flip, F-L-I-P, to 313131 or go to flipmindmap.com. We have video replays of all the previous videos we've done. We've got a couple more that we're going to do. And all the transcripts are in there as well. So it's a wealth of information. This is the kind of stuff that you're not going to get anywhere else. I promise. So today, last time we talked about follow-up, right? Remember, half of your deals or more are going to come from the follow-up, so it's really important. So now you got a deal under contract. You talked to some sellers, you made some offers, you got a seller that said, yeah, let's do it. Or you know what? They said, yeah, let's do it, but you don't even know if it's a good deal or not yet. Well, the best way to find out if it's a good deal is to put it out there on the market and see if you have any interest in it. The market will tell you what it can bear really, really quickly. So this is super critical. It's important to have buyers actually even before you go out and start finding deals. But I'm going to show you some shortcuts on how to get the best cash buyers that can buy your deals. All right. Now, there's a lot of things you can do. We're going to run through like the top things that you can do. And you can do all of these things. You can do some of them. You just decide. First thing you can start doing is advertising the house on Craigslist or advertise the contract. Now, we'll talk about this in a future video, the concept of advertising the house versus advertising the contract. I say those things interchangeably, but depending on how you're doing this deal and if you're buying it or not before you sell it, you may need to change your language and call it advertising the contract. But we'll talk about that more and clarify that in a minute in another video. But you need to advertise online, and Craigslist is one of the best places to do that. Craigslist has the most eyeballs of all of the websites out there that advertise real estate. Of course, Backpage, for some reason, it's still hanging around. It's still out there, but Backpage is a good resource. You should be putting your properties on Backpage. Bigger Pockets is a huge resource. We haven't talked much about Bigger Pockets in this series, but that's a great place to go and advertise properties. You might have to sign up to become a pro member. I don't know how much it costs, but it's very, very reasonable. You can go in there, and there's a place in Bigger Pockets called Marketplace, and you can advertise your properties in the Marketplace. You get a lot of really good buy and hold investors that are looking for deals in Bigger Pockets, so that's a great place to go. Zillow, if you can. Sometimes Zillow, they're getting a little more tighter and tougher with restrictions on advertising properties. But you can advertise properties that you currently own. Zillow is really, really good. Newspaper classified ads like Backpage, they're still hanging around. If you can get an ad in a classified newspaper, you should try it. At least get on the newspaper's online websites. Does that make sense? eBay Classifieds, I think, is still around. I don't know, Gavin, is it?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Well, if it
I don't
is,
think you need to. Yeah. I mean, it's an option.
yeah,
I
I've
think it's possible
actually,
going up.
it's been years and years since I advertised on eBay Classifieds, but check it out. Now, this is something, just because it's on the bottom of the list doesn't mean it's the least important. Facebook buy, sell, trade groups are fantastic. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to go into my Facebook here, and I'm going to go into buy, sell. If you just Google buy, sell, trade, you're going to find a bunch of websites in your market where these groups are. Now, Pensacola, Florida, for example, has 45,000 people in there. Okay, here it is. So I just did a search for St. Louis buy, sell, trade. In where I live, there's there's about 3 or 4 different counties, but there's 2 main counties that I'm concerned about. And there's St. Louis and St. Charles County. So if you did a search for St. Louis buy, sell, trade, you'd find this group. It has 19,000 members. If I did a search for St. Charles buy, sell, trade, you find another. It's a smaller county, but it's even a bigger group. So maybe I'm not looking in the right groups. I don't know. But every major city, and not even the major ones, will have these groups where you'll get 20,000, 40, 50,000 or more people in there buying and selling things, okay? And in some markets, this has actually replaced Craigslist. So this is one of them. Near where I live, there's 42,000 members. There's probably in the St. Louis area, there's at least 4 of them. But this is a good place to start. And you can actually advertise houses on here. People are advertising diapers, hockey tickets, tires, toilets, boats. Now, what if we went in here and did a search this group for house? And you can see people are advertising in here. A 3-bed, 1-bath house. Sometimes these are realtors are just putting out their listings out there. That annoys me to no end because we can get that on the MLS. But this would be a good place to go. One of the cool things about these groups as well, these might be a good opportunity for you to find potential deals. So if you see somebody that's selling a garage sale or selling a bunch of furniture or is just selling a bunch of stuff at their house, maybe send them a message in Facebook saying, hey, you're not moving, are you? You wouldn't have any interest in maybe also selling your house or something? If you see somebody selling a lot of garage sale type of stuff, maybe that's an opportunity, okay?
Yeah, so, just a quick one on that.
Mm-hmm.
One of our students had a call with yesterday she's in Alabama, and we were doing that exact thing. We were going into the groups. I was doing it with her, using keywords and actually going through old listings where other people had commented saying, oh, I'm a wholesaler. If you need any help, here's my number. So we were taking everybody else's conversations from months ago, just trying to build this list of investors up just from doing that.
That's a great idea.
Awesome.
If you could find some of these that look like they were a good deal, this was 21 hours ago. But look for the ones that had been advertised in the past and look for who commented on that, maybe who liked it. Yeah, send them messages. Great. So in some ways, like I said, again, this is replacing Craigslist. So these are really valuable resources. This is where you advertise your property. And of course, you could do Facebook ads. I'm not going to talk about that because that costs money. That's more advanced. But Facebook ads are a fantastic way to find buyers. Of course, there's signs. Signs work really, really well. Signs, some people think signs are like the classified ads. They don't work as well as anymore. BS. Signs work really well. Every time I've done signs on one of my deals, I get more buyers from my signs than I do on any of my online advertising. Signs in the yard work. In fact, I'd recommend putting more than one sign in the yard if you can. Depends on if the owner lives there or not. But there's been times when I put maybe 3 or 4 signs in the yard that all say the same thing. Why not? Right? I have a friend who puts about 20 or 30 signs in the yard. No kidding. So do you think if you're driving down the street or driving the other way and you look and you think you might notice a yard that has 20 or 30 bandit signs in the yard? You might get in trouble with the neighbors, but just put it out there for a day or two, see what happens. I don't know. But bandit signs really work, and I'll show you some examples here in a minute. But put some bandit signs in the neighborhood on the weekends. Just keep it simple, Say something like investor special, $30,000, cash only, phone number. Make it handwritten. So here's 2 good examples. I'm telling you, don't ignore signs. They work really well. This is a yellow handwritten sign. You can get these pre-printed and then just handwrite in the blanks. And here is one more. I like this one a lot. I found this one online. I've not used this one, but this is good. It says, please help me. I need to sell my house. I'll take anything. Do you think it's going to get some calls? Yes, it is. That is. And so you may have to make sure that goes to voicemail because you're going to get so many of them. But that is a fantastic sign. I love that sign. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you my favorite strategy. I don't know. I guess signs might be my favorite. But this one works really, really well. And this is sending letters to recent cash buyers in the area. And this works like gangbusters. And I can't believe I'm giving this away, Gavin, in the mind map. Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. But this is a secret ninja hack. And it's not secret. There are no secrets in this business. But this works really, really well. So here we go. I'll give it to you. Find people who have purchased properties in the area in the last 6 months. and send them a motivated seller yellow letter, a handwritten, like, we're used to sending these kinds of letters to sellers. Well, we're saying now send these letters to buyers in the area. And I'll show you in just a minute how to find it. But this is what the letter says, and I hope you can see that, but I'll just read it to you here. It says, urgent notice. This is handwritten on a yellow pad of paper that you're sending to investor buyers that bought property recently in the surrounding area of your home. Okay? And this is what it says. Urgent notice. I desperately need to sell my property at 123 Main Street in blah, blah, blah city. I've had it listed for some time now, or I've been trying to sell it for some time now, whatever you want to say, and I can't wait any longer. Take a drive by, call me, and I will let you in. The title is clear, taxes are paid, condition is good, and I need it sold today. Bold that, underline it. Drive by, call me, and make me a cash offer right now. Put your name and your phone number. That letter works like crazy. And one of the things that I did that works, and I can't explain this, I crumpled that letter up and then refold it, put it in a handwritten envelope with 2 stamps, and send that letter to people who are buying. And I'm going to show you here in just a second how to do that. So let's just take a look. Let's say we're going to Zillow and we find somebody who has a house in an area that we are interested in. You know what? Let me just pull up a house. I just wholesaled a house in this zip code, 63121. It's not the best area of St. Louis. That would be an understatement. Let me just find a house here. So these are all homes. You can see there's homes here in the, let's sort this by cheapest. There's homes here for sale for $9,000. Look at that beautiful thing. Here's a foreclosure, $14,900. All right, so anyway, it's a long story. I won't go into it. This is not one of my houses that I own. I'm wholesaling this thing. All right, so anyway, let's just take a look at this house, the 63121 on Manola Street. I'm going to copy that. And again, one of my favorite resources is ListSource. Okay, so here I am. I'm logged into my ListSource account, and I'm going to go into absentee owners. I just clicked investors, foreclosure services, absentee owners. I'm going to go down here to zip code plus radius. All right. Now I'm going to do 63121. And let's do 1 mile radius. I know in this area there's a lot of buyers that have been buying properties recently. Okay. Now I only have 550 actually. So maybe we should try 2 mile radius. Typically, I want a couple hundred. Okay, now that opens up wide a lot more, okay? Then we're going to go to next. We want somebody who is comfortable with buying 2-bedroom houses, okay? Because this is what we have. So what I might do is I might go here and select single-family residence, SFR, single families. And I might go here to bedrooms and do 2 to 2s. All right, and that brings it down to 1,700. Then I'm going to go here to last market recording date, and I'm just going to do let's do last 12 months and see what it gives me. I click last 12 months, 121. That's not bad. Then I'm going to go click next. And there's one more important thing that you need to do. There's this thing here called corporate owned properties. I'm going to say no preference. It bumps it up to 272. All right, so that's 272. Maybe that's too many. I would do it if I were you, but that's a good list. All you're going to do is you're going to buy that list. These are people, investors that bought properties, 2 bedrooms, in a 2 mile radius of that zip code that have bought a property in the last year. So if this is too many, maybe you bring that down to last 6 months, last 3 months, or whatever. All right? And then you send them that letter that I just showed you, this motivated seller yellow letter. You'll get calls. You will get calls, and make sure that phone number on that letter goes to your cell phone, okay? One of the worst things you can do is have that go to a website or a voicemail. You don't call them back. You make them jump through a bunch of hoops, fill out a page on a website. That's like, we're going to talk about that more in future videos, but you got to get that out of your system. You got to get rid of that. You want to talk to them on the phone. This yellow letter works really well. I've had buyers call me from that letter saying, you know what, and they laugh. They say, that's a fantastic letter. I know what you're doing, they say, but I'm not interested in this house, but please put me on take my name and number and let me know if you get anything else in the area, right? So that letter works really well. And crumple it up, why it works, I don't know. But people, when they get the letter, they can feel it's kind of bulky, you know? And they open it and they see a crumpled up letter inside of it that's been folded back. They're going to get some, that's going to pique their interest and force them to read it. Okay?
Yeah.
Make it handwritten. All right, so I'm going to give you 2 more things here. I can't believe we are already at 16 minutes, Gavin, but let's cover a few more things here because we've got a lot more to cover.
Yeah.
I also like to send letters to other people who are buying, to investors who are buying in other states. And I have a link here. I'm going to give you a link in the mind map, and it takes you to an Evernote folder that I have. And I have different example letters in here. And like this is one letter that we've used before. This is another letter we've used. Here's a sample postcard that we've used before. Let me open it up here for you. Here is another yellow letter that we've used before, I think. Let me see here. Yeah, well, it's the same thing I just showed you. And in here also I have another letter and a voicemail script. Well, I gave you this voicemail script right in here in this link, and I'm not going to show it to you right now, but it's just a 1-page voicemail. If you're doing a ton of mail, and you should always be marketing for buyers. Never, ever stop marketing for buyers. But here's a really good voicemail script that you can start using to, if a buyer has to go to your voicemail or something. This is a really good, simple voicemail script that you can use, and that is in the mind map. Okay, so that's good for now. Gavin, we got to keep this short. Let's cut it end here.
Yep.
And the next video, we're going to talk about calling landlords, partnering with other wholesalers, calling realtors, going to your local RIA groups. It's so important to have good cash buyers, and he who has the best cash buyers will always do the most deals. Okay, simple enough?
100%. Yes.
All right, we'll see you on the next video, guys.
Thanks, guys.